I have a bunch of stuff I wanted to say, so let's see if I can get through it. I don't know. I went in this morning and I decided to put on shorts with a shirt, and so I go in there and I'm like, oh, well, this is how the other kids are wearing it, and pull them up and tuck my shirt in. Oh my God. Yeah, not all styles look good on everybody, just so you know. Just look for the styles that look good on you. Don't just try and be like everybody else, because that's the problem. There's so many people that are wearing clothes that don't, they could wear stuff they'd look way better in, but they're trying to match somebody else's style. They're trying to look like someone else. This morning I saw that this lady, she puts a video of her transformation of doing plastic surgery so she can look like Angelina Jolie. Why? Oh, why? Why wouldn't you just want to look like you? You are the person who's representing you. Are you some kind of cookie cutter of someone else? Are you just being you, representing you? And that's what you look like, is just what you look like. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Because, you have all these women. Because I was thinking about this while I was in there, I'm getting ready and, thinking it's just, it's funny because you have, at my age, you have women who just totally am just like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Cut all my hair off. I'm going to wear boy clothes. I don't give a fuck about anything anymore. And then you have these other ones that are like, oh, no, I'm not aging. Nope, it's not happening for me. And they will do whatever it takes. Fill their face with chemicals and fillers and all this shit. And, the thing is it's chemicals. They're trying to get poisons into us any way possible. And vanity is a good way to do it. Just, go on in there and, get all caught up with your vanity and your ego and stuff like that, and you will be used. Those people look like science projects. I swear to God, some of these people, especially some of these girls that are doing it, or women or whatever you want to call them, females. I don't know. Is that too gender specific? I don't know. But these are actresses that were around, that were popular when I was, they were around my age as I was aging. And so, you're watching them in movies and stuff like that. Then you start finding out, like, some of them are using, I don't know if we can say it, but we've said it before, but, it is something that is in our bodies to keep us alive, and it circulates through the heart and all that stuff. And some people are, stealing that from small little children to keep themselves looking pretty. Because what's important. Come on, guys, get real. And then you have these other ones, just filling their face with chemicals. But anyways, watching some of these women distort their faces, it is a fucking science project, man. They're looking weird. And most of them don't even look like themselves. It's like, I don't know. I think there's something to aging gracefully. Just love yourself through the different stages of life. Be excited that you get to go through these experiences. One of the things is, I feel very fortunate to be getting older. And, it's exciting. The first part of my life was very challenging. Very challenging. It was many, many a days that I laid in bed crying, wishing for death. Please just take me out of this place. It's horrible. I can't take it. Oh, so many. Praying and praying. Just take me away. And now, that I've gone through, went through the dark time of my life. Then I went through the transitional time, which is a very difficult time. Don't think like, oh yeah, you just bounce right out and you're just like, whoa, now I get it. Oh, no, it's a challenging time, transition into, but then when you transition into enlightenment and then you just feel, and enlightenment is just, to me, it's just the connection. It's just feeling so good. I've talked about it before. It's just a blissful feeling of like tranquility, like, fuck. And I wouldn't have got to experience this if I would have just did myself in, when times were tough, when things were hard. And believe me, there was plenty. I mean, I was born into trouble. Born into trouble and just went and just kept on going. It was like, oh my God, what am I here for? Why? Please. So, yeah, and now I feel super fortunate to be getting older, because now I'm going into this other stage. I get to live this other part of my life of, being a more enlightened individual, not being so, because one thing is when you are in all this, troubled times, you become very self-involved, very self-centered. And I think that's part of there's so many people who just want to get out there like, oh, if I just have this, if I'm just rich and famous, if I'm just this, people like me and then I'll like myself. And, you just won't find it. And you become manipulative, and you become needy, and you become whiny, and all that stuff when you're in those dark times. But, I'm just happy I didn't get stuck there, because that's what I've said before. I find very, very sad. I was just telling that to my mom. We were having a talk, and, something about my dad gets brought up, and I'm just like, that's the thing with Dad. I just feel bad for him. He never got to go into the next step. He never did his healing or anything. He died with the same pain he carried his whole life. He carried it. Fucking grew. And never dealt with it. Just, drank some whiskey and let it all just fade into more problems. Because that's what happens. They just complicate their life more and more and more and more. So, anyways, I feel very fortunate. And one of the things that I think is also an interesting little factoid to go with that is that, what's crazy is like, so if you have somebody who just doesn't like you, and then they meet somebody who meets you, and then they think you're the greatest thing, and they're constantly, like, oh my gosh, I love them, they're so funny, they're so this, they're so that. That will change this person's attitude. They'll give a new perspective, a new perception of like how they get to see this person. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing that right now. And I don't even know, because a lot of things I see in the future, I don't know how to explain it, but my vision just isn't my eyeballs, my three-dimensional eyeballs. Some things that I can know a situation, and then they show it to me in just like this little movie real quick. And then they give me insights. They tell me things. It's like a documentary. So, anyways, I just was like, yeah, that's so crazy. Like, think about this. Okay, so you have this person who just hates this other person. Oh my God, they're the worst person. I hate them. Blah, 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 blah. And, you're sitting there listening to him, and you just go, yeah, well, I feel bad for him. They told me that story about when their dad killed their pet rabbit right in front of them, and fuck, that was rough, man. And then he made him eat it for dinner. And then, does that person stop? Do they stop and go like, what? Oh my God. Do they get compassion at that point? Or do you have to keep going? Do you have to, make it worse and worse? Like, where is the line where these people start having compassion? But there will be a line. There will be a point where this person's heart will go out to this other person, and it can change their feelings, and it may not be long term. They may still be triggered because they're carrying some trigger that is this person. Like, the triggers come from within. It's not this person doing something that's pissing you off. This person's just being them, and you're triggered by something. And it's never just like, oh, they do that. There's a hidden meaning behind it. And the triggers, we should be like, every time we're triggered, we should be like, hallelujah, now I know what to work on. That's how we should get. Like, oh, I can see it. Now I can work on it. But instead, we're like, fuck them. I don't need their shit. And stuff like that. And it's, so we block it, I don't want to deal with that. I want to deal with them. They're pissing me off. It's them. And, the sooner that you start looking at you and seeing you instead of seeing everybody else, you know, that's like the first step on the path to enlightenment, is stop blaming others, stop being a victim, stop thinking that someone else can make you feel better. There's nobody else out there that can make you feel better until you feel better inside you. You could go to somebody who is the most just happy as like for me, somebody comes at me and they're just a big old ball of mess, you know, you go work on you, because I'm not here to fix you. You know, I can give you some helpful ideas of how I was able to do it. You know, I can call you out on your shit. I can point out things you don't want to see, but you know, I'm not going to carry the load, you know. And there's a lot of people who just, they want to attach and have somebody carry the load, like, oh, life's too hard, just take me. And you know, you're giving up so much. And I don't know how healing has become so scary for so many people. Like, they don't want to see themselves. But, you know, that's why right now, like, the universe is saying, oh, you know, you had your chance. You could have gone the easy way. Now you're going the hard way. Now we're going to hold up a mirror. Now we're going to show you exactly who you are. Whether it's a bully or, you know, ignorant as fuck, which is a lot. But, you know, that's the favor God's doing here at this time. But, you know, that's part of the cosmic transition. Those things have to happen. They no longer can play the old games. We have to transition into the new, which is going to be so much better. Oh my gosh, I just heard somebody talking the other day about the age of Leo. And I think they were saying that was during the time of, what is that guy's name? Like, I can picture him. Like, back in the Roman kind of, I can't remember his name though. He would wear that thing around here. I don't know if it was his crown. It's like a half crown of mess. I don't know what his name was. It seems like it started with a J, but I can't remember. But I think that's the time. But you could look it up. But it was a time of, you know, a lot of battle and confrontation. And that is what Leo represents, power and stuff. So the different ages of that we have lived through have all had their own unique learning that people have had available to them. And so, yeah, this is rough for a lot of these people, but their souls came here for this transition, to be a part of this, you know, whatever roles that they're all playing. You know, there's so much going on, man. It's just, there's so many people that are, you know, like, when I was talking to my mom this morning, and I was talking about something, and I was saying, you know, how many people, they just hold on to their body. Because I was saying something, this happens all the time. I'll say, like, oh, so-and-so, you know, they're super religious. They're always saying blah, 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 or whatever. Because my mom's super religious. And, you know, I've made a complete separation from spiritual and religion. Religion is its own paradigm. It's not the paradigm we're going to be in the future. But, you know, she's transitioning, but she's no, you know, she just doesn't know, you know, she doesn't know. She thinks that, you know, that it's all real. It's all, you know, literal, factual shit. And, so when I say that, she's always just like, oh, well, I would like to have a conversation with them because I don't think they understand what the Bible is saying. And I said, well, you know, it's all perspective. It's all on how someone translates and perceives what they're reading. And that is all on your own individual growth. You know, everybody's going to read something. It's all going to come out different. Just like every interaction you have. You know, you can be in a room with 50 people. They're all having a different experience. They're all going to come out and talk about something different. Unless something magnificent happens. I mean, a guy falls over and has a heart attack and everybody will talk about that. But, you know, just as a basic thing. It's just trippy because like you can go into, we could all walk in the same room, walk out, and we're all going to talk about something different in that room. We all had a different experience, you know, whatever it was that you noticed, that is your experience. And so, you know, there's all these people who are, that they are, you know, just with the Bible, just, you know, basing what they're reading on how they perceive things. So they are taking it different. And I tried to tell that to my mom, you know, you're all taking it different because it's all by perception. Well, me and my friends, and then I was like, well, you know, we're going to go into, you know, smaller communities. People are going to leave the city. People are going to, you know, homestead. We're going to spread out. We're going to build communities. And we've got to make sure that we don't get in that mindset. Well, me and my friends, we do it this way. If you don't do it our way, then fuck you. No, we have to have, that is, I told my mom, I said, you know, at this point, you know, we're animals. We couldn't even fucking go up and fly in formation like geese. I mean, but we're the civilized, enlightened, you know. It's like, come on, people. This is about unity. It's about us becoming connected. Us, you know, and we can't connect if we're judging. If we think, you know, it's your fault. It's nobody's fucking fault. You know, that was what the experience was. We're going into a new experience. We got to let go of all this stuff. Whatever you're carrying on your back, you got this big thing of like, oh, I got to be this way, and this way is this, and I'm perfect because of this. You know, all the shit. It's all fake. Let it go. You know, it is just... it's funny because, you know, if somebody was going to, you know, sit down and label me, you know, I'd be crazy, conspiracy theorist, truther for sure, new age. I know where to go when I go in the bookstore. I know where to look for something that interests me. So, you know, I get labeled the new age. Oh, drug addict for sure. You know, I've got tattoos. Probably a sex worker. That when I went in to talk to the plastic surgeon, right, to get my boobs done, and you know, oh, you know, he told me I had a severe deformity, but so and that's just from being flat chested. That's considered a deformity, I guess. So, anyways, so, but he wasn't sure. I was a nurse, but he had to have all this. No, I was in nursing school. And I was in school with this other girl, and she was the one who, yeah, I was a wuss to pressure. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. I ought to do it. Don't think it through. But anyways, because I had a tattoo, I had my first tattoo. And my first tattoo is, well, I had a little tiny one. But then, you know, I covered it up. I was working for a tattoo artist who was really good, you know, and we were best friends. And so she did a tattoo on me that goes from my shoulder down, all the way down my back on one side. It just goes down one side. It was in the newspaper and stuff when it happened a long time ago. And because, you know, that was like, woo, that was extreme back then. And, you know, I was in the LA Times. It was like, woo, totally extreme. But that guy, he didn't want, because he thought I was a sex worker because I had a tattoo. And that was only, what was that? That was only like 15 or 20 years ago or something. How old was I? I think it was like 40. Yeah, so like 20 years ago. He thought I was a prostitute because I had a tattoo. But it's changed a lot. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When it transformed into everybody had tattoos. Yeah, that was weird. But still, for people who don't, especially, you know, I'm an oddball in my age group. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, they look at me like younger people, they're all hip to it. They don't give a shit about tattoos. But older people, yeah, They'll just look at you. Not really old people. Like really old people. I've had so many little old ladies you think are going to come up, like the one who told me, that we need to go and whatever, get the demons out of me because I've got all these demons now that have attached me. Little old ladies that are like, where you think they're going to come up and do that, hold their crucifix up, but they're always like, oh my gosh, I just love Allah. I wish I would have done something like that. I was like, that is the thing, is, and that's what I also told my mom this morning was, we've got to be out there living our lives and appreciating them. And, I said, there's so many of these people who are martyrs and poor me and, they just want to be the victims of the world. And, especially these ones that are into religion, I can suffer. I'll suffer. Jesus suffered. I'll suffer. And are going to spend their life suffering. And she has one friend who was doing that, and then she got sick. I don't remember if she said she died or not, because we talked about a few different people. But I said, that's exactly it. If you're focused on suffering, you will manifest illness in your body. You will manifest disease in your body. And I said, what's crazy is, what do you think God would really want? Do you think God would say, like, oh, here, I want you to suffer as much as possible? Or would he say, hey, while you're down there, have a good time. I got some cool stuff down there. Go down, check it out. So, that right there, if you're in this mindset of being a martyr, or I must suffer, then you need to connect to God, because that's not what life's all about. Life is about learning, lessons, experience, the physicality of sensation, the experience of even coming together and bonding. There's just so much experience here. But we all just get so caught up in expectation of what we think things need to be like. And then we just can't experience what they are like. We're so busy being disappointed that we can't even focus on what's happening before us. It's just like, the more you can release expectation and stuff like that and get it in your head, you don't need to suffer. You've done the suffering, whatever suffering you did. Now we're in the transition. Now it's like, take a big, hard, long look at yourself. Look from every angle that you possibly can, because I guarantee you there's ways you don't want to see yourself. You will try and find the best mirror, like my magic mirror. You'll try and find the best mirror that you look the best in, I just lucked out with the magic mirror. I didn't go out and mirror shop. I just lucked out. But yeah, so, the more you look at yourself and the more that you take responsibility for your personal growth and your personal happiness, and, if you don't feel connected, figure out how to connect. What are your interests? What things do you like to do? Where do you go out and find other people that are like you? Like the disc golfing. That seems to be a popular thing. Are you a disc golfer and you're all alone? Go out to the disc golf place, because there's always a lot of people disc golfing. Just start talking to them. Make friends. Meet up there again. You will find people that have interests like you, and then you will expand yourself. Don't just sit in a place and be like, oh, my friends all suck. They're nothing like me. And life sucks. I've got horrible parents, and my friends suck. My parents suck. My job sucks. Like, oh my gosh, come on. You got to take responsibility for your life. Yeah, there's a lot of sucky shit. So you're going to just sit and focus all your energy on how sucky shit is? Or are you going to just go out there and go like, man, there's some shit out there that's not sucky, and I'm going to find it. Because there is. And you're going to find it in connection and joy. And, if you've never seen a waterfall, fucking drive and go find a waterfall and go sit, and I'm telling you, you will find joy. There's just so much out there that you just have to, get out of your traps. You have entrapped yourself with what society has placed as expectations. You've taken those on of what you feel makes you a better person, of who you're trying to please. Because there's not a lot you have to do to please God. And that's really, and that's in here. And yeah, like I used to think it was like, oh, so much. What will make me happy? I'm so needy. And all this shit. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, fuck, I'm happy. I don't need shit. You can call me needy. I'm fucking, I've been sitting in this goddamn room for over a year and I'm still fucking happy. So, you can find happiness and, look at it as an explorer, as a pioneer of like, what your opportunities are to go out and discover yourself, discover the joy, discover everything here. And, just don't ever get in that thing of like, oh, please just take me away. Oh, I can't do it. Because things turn around and life is really cool. So get excited. Okay, that's enough for my rambling today. Well, who knows? I could come back and talk more later. I don't know. Have a great day. Talk to you later.